Hi, I'm Duke Vinci and welcome to another Bridgemaster Daily, and I really hope I have resolved my sound issues from yesterday. Terribly sorry for that, but on the other hand, yeah. The hand wasn't very interesting, but today we are supposed to play a level 5 hand, so that's proved to be... So it's supposed to be a little more exciting and also a little longer, I'm afraid. But we'll see. Wait a second, that was the wrong menu inside the bridge base. Column, I want to play Bridge Master level 5. Hand number 2. Let's see. So, okay, now we have an example of a competitive auction. So, West opened 2 spades, which in our German system at least, it shows 6 spades, but usually no opening strength. Yeah, and East prolongs the bidding, so he probably has 2 or 3, possibly 2 if I see it correctly now, spades to support West, and usually also doesn't have much strength. It's more a destructive kind of bid. But we need to be very careful here, because I can already see that so in Trump contracts I like to look for losers, and we have 2 obvious losers, which are the Ace of Hearts and the Ace of Diamonds, and those are the 2 only tricks we may lose anyway, so we need to make a plan now how to avoid losing any further tricks. I guess we need to assume that East has the King of Clubs, because if the King of Clubs is with West, I don't see any chance of making the contract. Actually, even if the King is Singleton, because even if West has like a Singleton King of Clubs, yes, it falls under the Ace, but that also would imply that East has 4 clubs and his 10 will make a sure trick. Or his 9 or his 8. So, what is a scenario in which I can win? Obviously, if East has the king of clubs in a doubleton, that would mean West has 3 of them. And that would be a winning distribution if we just play a club from North's hand and finesse against East King, but I don't want to rely on that single distribution, to be honest. Is there any other distribution we can hope for? Well, what happens if East has 3 clubs to the king? I think that should be the critical distribution, because in principle, we can also finesse against that, but we would need to finesse twice in order to get East's king, and we can't because North has only 1 club. So I think that's what this hand is all about. The question is now whether I can finesse against East without playing a club. So, like by playing a heart or a spade or something like that, and basically forcing East to ruff, so I can sort of play a rough finesse, if you know what I mean. So over rough with either the queen or the ace, depending on what East ruffs. But for that, East needs to be forced to ruff. So East would also need to be down to like 2 cards in his hand. Which is also bad for another reason, because West in this scenario also has 2 clubs. That means we can play 1 round of clubs, but he will remain with a club, and he can sort of interfere with our finesse plans. So maybe the critical distribution is actually the doubleton. king with east? No, that's not critical at all. Then we can just finesse and claim everything apart from the two aces. That's not how it will go. So what do we know about East's distribution anyway? I have a funny feeling that we need to get rid of all these low clubs from our hand in order to make it to the like second but last trick and have North on play because we want to lead anything basically from North and force East to rough so we can over rough accordingly. I've talked a long time now and haven't played a single card yet. Yeah, so how do we eliminate all these low clubs in our hand? Well, we can eliminate 3 of them possibly on spades. Although we don't have that many entries into North. I'm afraid. We can like rough a diamond. But that's all very speculative business, and I don't see anywhere close to enough entries into North's hand to rough out of his spades, basically. Also, the diamonds will probably be 5-2. I guess since West has 6 spades, he doesn't have much room for any other suits. Yeah, not... Also, what happens if East just ducks? Have I thought about that yet? Because then I can't even use diamonds to reach North's hand. Should I play the queen? I don't think so, although these level 5 hands often have a funny solution like that. But I don't see any merit for the moment. If I play the queen, East plays the ace. Yes, I've secured a diamond trick for myself, but I would always have gotten that one. The issue just being I need to reach North's hand at all. Perhaps the Doubleton club to the king with East is the critical play actually. Because in order to finesse in clubs I need to reach North's hand like once, but just once. Without giving away a ruff, of course. A ruff. Maybe that's actually the issue, because can I reach North in hearts? Very dangerous, because if I play the queen and don't take it, then they both just happily duck, and if I play like the queen to the king or something, well, the opponents might just take the ace, and East might give West another hard ruff, because West has a 6 card in spades and possibly 3 clubs if East really has Doubleton to the king. So West doesn't have much room for other suits. He could very well have a singleton heart or diamond for that. Maybe I will take actually, because then at least East cannot afford to duck. Because if he ducks, well, I finesse in Trump immediately. So he has to take this. What does that give me? Not much. So in a like family game, I would have thrown the 2 of diamonds pretty much automatically, but this is not a family game. So let's think about this one more time, shall we? Suppose the East has like a double ten clubs to the king. I don't see any hope if East has like three clubs to the king. To the king. Yes, in theory that's possible with like roughing out the suit and finessing without playing trump. But I don't see it happening in this hand at all. And for that, I would also need to get rid of all the hearts, and it's just way too dangerous to play 3 rounds of hearts or whatever. That's never gonna happen. So, we need to think about East having a doubleton clubs to the king. And I need to reach North's hand for that. I would rather not have to rely on hearts for that. Also, since East can very easily gain the trick with the ace of hearts and just lead back a diamond and give Wester off. Or another heart, but possibly more likely a diamond. That's a big issue. I want to reach North's hand at every opportunity possible. I will take this and see what happens. I mean, I don't see any additional value in the Queen of Diamonds anyway, even if I don't take this, because I'm not relying on the diamond winner from North's hand. I have nothing I want to discard from my hand anyway. So perhaps take it and go down with the ship. Go down with the ship. So West has a second round of diamonds. Meaning I'm on the play. So now I want to reach North's hand. My natural instinct would be to just unblock the ace of spades, because that's always gonna run, because East prolonged West spades bidding. So, and then I want to reach the dummy in hearts, unfortunately, and I will need to start by overtaking the queen with the king, I guess, because if I just let the queen want to drive out the ace, the opponents will happily duck that one, and I can't afford to play too many heart tricks. The other issue also is, what if East returns a diamond? I need to rough high then, presumably, because West surely doesn't have a diamond anymore. He also signaled low high, which is on the top level, it is more assuring that he has a doubleton, actually. Although on our level, we usually play doubletons high low, but that's just our convention, basically our simplified version. And in the top level, I think they play low high most of the time. Yeah, let's unblock the ace of spades. I don't see any merit in keeping that in our hand. And then let's try hearts by overtaking the queen with the king. So East ducks this one. Okay, now we need to grab the opportunity to finesse in clubs, I guess. Okay, and now I don't see any other hope than to just hope that the king falls with East under the ace now. I don't see it very likely, but I don't see many other chances to begin with. Ah, there it falls. Okay, it feels like this being a little bit more lucky than very planned, but alright, we'll take it. Now we have made our contract, definitely, because we can just drive out the ace of hearts and claim the rest. I don't think claiming is possible in these Bridgemaster hands, but whatever, I will just play it out real quick for you. Even though this is like nothing to write home about, the 9 of hearts is high. Yeah. So what was the point behind all this? Was it really, as I sort of felt at first trick, that we wouldn't have made it if we ducked the Jack of Diamonds? Let's see. West leads the Jack of Diamonds against 5 clubs. If West diamond leads is singleton, yeah, I didn't know it. I didn't assume that because in singleton, East would always just take the ace and play back a diamond, and our contract would fall immediately. There's nothing we can even try in that scenario. Yeah, East will have to have doubleton club king. It's not that this was actually the most likely distribution, but again, it was possibly the only distribution in which we would have any chance at all. And if there's only one distribution in which you even have the slightest chance of actually making your contract, just go for it, I guess. I mean, it will not play out 90% of the time, but so what? If you go down one or two tricks, if it's undoubled, doesn't make much difference, especially when you play in like total points, what we usually do in our family. So if we have to get to dummy at the same time, not allow Trump promotion via diamond plays from East, yeah. That was the issue I mentioned. If East plays back a diamond, I would have to rough high, even though I really don't want to rough high, because I lose a Trump trick by roughing high, but if I rough low, West just over roughs me in diamonds. If I play low, that would have been wrong, I guess. Yeah, East will also duck. Okay. And why exactly is ducking better than not like, okay, now I see. West has the ace of hearts. I always assumed it was with East, but West has the ace of hearts. And by ducking the first diamond trick, but like if we play a low diamond from North, we already give up on entering North on this trick. So then East can just say, okay, I will duck as well. Which he can't do when we play the Queen, of course, because then we would immediately finessing clubs. But if East can duck, well, we have to take the King of Diamonds. But then later on, when West cashes the Ace of Hearts, it's his trick, and he can play back another diamond because he still has another diamond to play. And then East will take that one with the ace and play back a third round of diamonds, and again our contract will fall. So it was important to like cut the communications of the defense in this. And I didn't really consider that possibility, to be really honest. I just wanted to enter North hands with every means necessary. And even if that involves the small chance that it actually succeeds on trick one, I was willing to take that chance. Because again, promoting a diamond winner in North's hand, which I would have accomplished by playing the two of diamonds actually, but that wouldn't have accomplished anything for me since there is no loser in South's hand. I want to discard anyway. I need to get to dummy and hearts, always, yes. And as soon as West wins the ace, he can play back a diamond. Because he still has one, if he ducks. And then East can play a third round of diamonds and our contract will fall. Yeah, very slim hope. I mean, if you play this line of play in a tournament game, like 99% of the chance, 99% of the times, you will probably still fall, or let me say 95%. This wasn't very much hope to begin with, but better a slim chance than no chance at all, I guess. But yeah, if we play the Queen at trick one, we basically threaten to enter North already on trick one, which is... It's not that we threaten to make a trick in diamonds, it's that we... Because we will always make a trick in diamonds, no matter how we play, but... The interesting thing is that we already threaten to win a diamond trick on the right side in trick one. Which is very important to set up the Trump finesse. So, by playing the Queen, we basically force East to play the ace and play back another diamond. Yeah, if he doesn't do that, which is what he explained now, Well, then we have successfully entered North's hand on trick one, and we can start finessing clubs already. But East will probably take the ace in if that happens. But again, if he plays back a second round of diamonds, yeah, this is what happens in the game. If he's plays round the second round of diamonds now, once later West enters the ace of hearts. He doesn't have a diamond anymore to play back. That's the issue. And therefore, well, anything else West returns will allow us to play a second round of hearts and to enter the north hand. And once we have entered the north hand, we can draw our trumps. Yeah, it's also important, by the way, in hearts that we not let the queen go. That's a terrible mistake because the opponent can then just duck and we still haven't achieved anything because we wanted to enter North's hand. Not just make hard tricks, we will make them anyway. But it's important that we start by entering North's hand in some fashion, either by overtaking the 2 with the 8 or the 9 or the 10, or by overtaking the queen with the king, which is what I did. But just at least try to enter North's hand, and if it doesn't succeed on the first try, it will on the second. Alright, this was a bit difficult, and it's also, it is actually still very difficult for me to assess hands with a very slim chance of success. I mean, I'm just programmed to play for a high success rate, I guess, and not to look for very outside chances like this one. Alright guys, see you tomorrow. Was an interesting hand, I think.